Dear friends, welcome to the science class. In the last class, we started with the topic named as force and laws of motion. Right? In that topic, we already discussed about what is force. Force is nothing but push or pull. Right? What are the effects of the force? Force is going to change the state of the motion first. Force is going to change in the speed, second condition, second effect of that force. Third effect of that force is what? It is going to change the shape of an object or material. That is the third effect. In the same manner, what is the fourth effect of the force? It is going to change the direction. It is going to change the direction. These are the some effects of the force which we were discussing in the last class. Right? In the same manner, we discussed about the different types of the force. That is nothing but contact force, non-contact force. Right? In the contact force, we see that discussed about the frictional force as well as we discussed about what? We discussed about the muscular force. In the same manner, we discussed about the non-contact forces. That is nothing but gravitational force, electrostatic force. Right? Gravitational force, electrostatic force, magnetic force. These are the non-contact force. As well as I given the homework to you that what I told you to write down the basic information about the force. What is the assignment of the force? What do you mean by force? How does the force can be represented? So that's the basic information which is required for the studying about the laws of motion. So that now, what are the basic information first? Force. The assignment of the force. Force. It is denoted by F. It is denoted by F. Denoted by F. Force can be denoted by F. In the same manner, the assignment of the force. The assignment of the force is Newton. It is Newton. Right? It can be denoted by the capital N and its assignment is Newton. In the same manner, force has magnitude as well as direction. Force has magnitude and direction. It has magnitude and direction. Magnitude and direction is nothing but it has a number as well as it has a direction. If I apply this force in this direction, the vehicle is going to move in this direction only. Right? So that force, in whichever direction it is going to apply, it is going to have the magnitude in that direction only. So that it has the number as well as it has the direction. So for that, the force has magnitude as well as direction. For that reason, it is known as vector quantity. It is known as vector quantity. If you remember the previous class about the speed as well as velocity, where speed is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector quantity. So that velocity has the magnitude as well as direction. In the same manner, here force has the magnitude as well as direction. For that purpose, force is a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity. So these are the basic information of the force. As well as in the previous class we discussed about the what? We discussed about balanced force and unbalanced force. Now today we are going to discuss about the Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws of motion. Now we are going to study about the laws of motion. Right? These laws are given by Newton because of that they are known as Newton's laws of motion. And the basic idea about the motion is given by the Galileo and Galilei. Right? The basic idea of that motion is given by whom? It is given by the Galileo and Galilei. So by using those basic idea, Depending on those three laws only, all the objects which are in motion, everything, every item which is present around us which are in motion are going to follow these three laws. Are going to follow these three laws only. So that we are going to study about Newton's laws of motion. So first law we are going to study first law of motion. First law of motion. So then for that purpose we are going to take an example. We are going to take multiple examples, not only one example. We are going to take multiple examples so that we can clearly understand what is the Newton's first law of motion and what it states. So we take the example of a tester or bench or this tester. Right, I am having a tester here. The tester is moving. No. Is it moving? No. No. When I apply force here, when I apply the force to that duster, what will happen? The duster starts to move. The duster starts to move. Right. Now again same manner. When I apply the force, it starts to move. Now duster initially is at rest position. When I apply the force, it is moving. In the same manner, the moving duster will again apply the force in the opposite direction. When I again apply the force in the opposite direction, the duster starts to stop. It stops here only. Now at the start of the motion also, we are applying the force to that duster. In the same manner, to stop the duster from the motion, we are applying the force again. So that the starting or the movement of the duster as well as the resting of the duster depends on the force. Depends on the force. Now which force it is? The force which is coming externally. The force which is coming externally. So then if you want to move this duster, I have to apply the force. Up to application of the force, is it possible that the duster is going to move? No, it is not possible. The duster is not going to move. In the same manner, the moving duster is going to stop. Is it going to stop? No. When it is going to stop? When I apply the opposite force on this duster. Up to that point, it is going to continue in its motion only. Continue in its motion up to the point when I am going to apply a force in the opposite direction. At that time, this duster is going to stop from the motion. Up to that point, it is not going to stop. In the same manner, if you take another example here, this is the ground. This is the ground. Here a goalkeeper is standing. Here a goalkeeper is standing. Here is the ball, and here a player who is going to kick the ball here. Who is going to kick the ball? Before kicking the ball, at what position is the ball here? Before kicking, it is at rest. It is at rest. Now we have to change the position of the ball so that the ball starts to move in this direction of the goal. When it starts to move in the direction of the goal, when he kicks, when this player is nothing but A player, this is the B player. When A player kicks the ball, at that time only the ball starts to move. Before that, it is in motion. No, it will be at rest position. When he kicks the ball, when A player kicks the ball, ball starts to move in this direction. Ball starts to move in this direction. So that the ball is at rest starts to be in motion. Starts to be in motion. When it starts to be in motion, when this player applies the force. How is going to apply the force? By kicking the ball. So that ball starts to be in motion. No, it is not. It is continuing in motion. It is continuously in motion. Up to what point? Up to the point of the goalkeeper. That is nothing but B. What will happen when the ball moves in the direction of the goalkeeper? When it reaches the goalkeeper is going to pluck it. Goalkeeper is going to hold it, or is going to catch it. So that at this point see the ball is in motion. The ball is in continuously motion. What will happen when it comes to the position B? The goalkeeper is going to catch the ball. The goalkeeper is going to catch the ball. At that time, the ball which is in motion is going to stop. So then, when it catches, the ball is going to come at rest position. It is going to come at the rest position. Right? Ball at rest position initially when the player applies the force, that is nothing but by kicking, it starts to move. No, so that there is this change in the state of the motion of the ball from rest to motion when an external force is applied. The same manner, the ball which is moving with the uniform motion is catched by the goalkeeper. Now, what do you mean by catching of the ball? That is nothing but he is going to apply the force in the opposite direction. He is going to apply the force in the opposite direction for the purpose of the catching of the ball or holding of the ball. So then, what will happen to the motion of the ball? The motion of the ball is going to stop there only. It is going to stop there only when he catches the ball. So then, the state of the motion is again going to happen here. That is nothing but from motion to rest. When it is going to come at rest position, when the goalkeeper catches the ball, that is nothing but when he applies the force. When he applies the force. So that by these two examples, one is the movement of the tester, how it is happening when an external force is applied on that tester only. It is going to change the state of the motion from rest to the motion. In the same way, take the example of this ball also. The ball is going to start move when the player is going to kick the ball. After the kicking of the ball, up to that point, it will be at rest position only. When an external force is applied, after that point, after that application of the force, the ball starts to move. So then, by this example, we can come to a conclusion that any object. By these two examples, I hope to clear those examples. I hope this is clear about these two examples. By these two examples, we came to conclusion that an object is going to remain in that position only. It is going to remain in the same state of the motion only. Up to a point when an external force is applied. Up to a point when an external force is applied. So if you take the example of the ball only, that is nothing but object, it is going to remain in that position only. It is going to remain in that position only. Up to what point? Up to a point there where an external force is applied. Right? After that point, what will happen? The motion of the ball, that is nothing but from the rest, it is going to change into the uniform motion. When it is changing when an external force is applied. When an external force is applied, that is nothing but the first law of the motion. Right? Every example, this explanation is nothing but it is the statement of the first law. It is the statement of the first law. That is nothing but a body at rest remains at rest. Body at rest is going to remain in rest, and body at rest is going to remain at rest, and a body, you can take an object also, a body at uniform motion, remains in uniform motion. A body at uniform motion is going to remain at uniform motion only. This body after application of the force is going to move. It is going to move. Right? It is going to move and it is going to remain in the uniform motion only. Right? Uniform motion only. In a straight line. In a straight line. In a straight line only, it is going in a straight line only. So in a straight line with uniform speed. In a straight line with uniform speed, unless it is compelled by an external force. Compelled by an external force. Compelled by an external force, then external force to change the state of the motion. This is the statement of the first law of motion. That is nothing but first law of motion of the Newton says that a body at rest remains at rest, and a body at uniform motion remains in the uniform motion in a straight line with uniform speed, unless it is compelled by the external force to change the state of the motion. So then if you take this example, this body, that is nothing but the ball is going to remain at the rest position only. Up to what point? An external force, that is nothing but this player is going to apply the force by kicking the ball. So that up to that point it is going to remain at rest. When you kick the ball, it starts to move. When you kick the ball starts to move. Up to what point? It will remain up to that point, it will remain at rest only. So then an external force is applied and it starts to move. So that there is a change in the motion. There is a change in the state of the motion of an object. In the same manner, when applying the force, the object is moving in this direction only, in the straight direction only. So the ball is in motion now. Up to what point? The ball is in motion and it is moving with an uniform speed. Up to what point? The player B is going to catch that ball and it is going to stop. Up to that point, it is going to continue in the uniform motion. After the catching of the ball, there is nothing but an external force is going to be applied. Up to that point, it is going to be in motion. After that point, it is going to stop. It is going to become a rest position. So that the body which is moving in a uniform motion in a straight line with a uniform speed, it is going to remain in the same manner up to a point when the external force is applied. At that point, it is going to change its state of the motion. Either from rest to the motion or from motion to the rest, or it is going to change its speed, or it is going to change its direction. Up to that point, up to what point? Up to an external force is applied. That is nothing but it is the first law of the motion. If you take the example of the ball, again take the example of the ball which is thrown along the ground. What will happen? The ball is going to move in the straight line direction only. But what actually happens to the speed of the ball? The speed of the ball is going to get decreased. Why? It is because of the frictional force. Which is present on the surface of the ground, which is opposing the movement of the ball. So then the ball is going to stay in the motion up to point the frictional force is going to stop the ball after some distance is covered. So that the frictional force will be continuously is going to exert on that ball. Because of that exertion of the force on that ball, the speed of the ball is going to get reduced, continuously getting reduced. So that this is the statement as well as the explanation of the Newton's first law of the motion. In general, if you don't remember all the statement here, that is not necessary to remember all the statement. It is not necessary to write the statement which is given in the textbook or which is given in the notes. You can write your own statement also. So that when writing your own statement, you should remember that a body or an object should remain at rest only. as well as if a body reaches that uniform motion, it will remain in uniform motion. Up to what point? Up to a point where an external force A is going to come to change the state of the motion of an object. To change the state of the motion of an object. Up to that point, it is going to continuously remain in that position, in that same state of the motion. Either maybe at rest or either maybe it has what are motion. If you take the example of this table also, this table is also at rest only. Now, if I don't apply the force on that table, is it going to move? No, it is not going to move. So that there is no external force is applied on this table. Because of that reason, it is going to remain in the same position. When I apply the force on that table, an external force is going to apply on that table, it starts to move. So then at that point, it will be going to remain in the same position. It is the first law of motion. So then you have to write some examples of the first law of motion, where you have to state the state of the motion of the object before the application of the force as well as after the application of the force. What is happening after the application of the force? You have to write. At least you have to write 5 examples of those things. Right? And as well as you have to write what is happening there. So this is the first law of the motion. Next we are going to discuss about the inertia and mass. Next we are going to discuss about the inertia and mass. Right? Inertia and mass we are going to discuss in the next class, as well as we are going to discuss some examples of the inertia and mass, how it is going to happen with an general example in the next class. Up to that point, write the 5 examples of these things. Take the general examples only, not take the examples which are given in the next course and which are given in your textbooks. Just take the examples which is happening in the day-to-day life. So that by using those examples, we are going to discuss this application of this first law of motion, as well as we are going to discuss about inertia and mass by using the first law of motion in the next class. Up to that point, thank you, take care.